Howdy, everybody in the Dabbleverse tonight. How are we doing?
Hello.
Joey C, what's up, brother?
Man, what a powerful intro you made, man. Jesus, man.
Thank you, sir. I'm not done with it yet, but that was one to get us started for now, and we'll keep using it. So
yes, sir. Hello, Chad. How are you?
Hey, great. Thanks, Joey. Glad you're feeling better.
Us, Chad?
Trying to, huh?
Oh yeah, the weather. All right.
Hey,
listen up, viewers. Listen up. We got the weather. 41 degrees in Buffalo. The precip is 0. The wind is at 6. And it's 60% humid, everyone.
Very good.
All righty. And Linky, if you couldn't get the whole point of it, the Three Can Keep a Secret podcast is normally about true crime, but we also get into the Dabbleverse as well. And in the true crime, we go after the folks that are out there in some of these real crime cases that are going on, and we expose them for what they are. That's why they're there. So, all right. So, Joey, not feeling so good tonight, huh?
No, I've been I'm sick all day. I mean, I get the flu quite a bit, like 2 times a year, and I just think ever since I got that COVID shot, they infected me with something. I'm just not too keen to thinking that I had something to do with it, because I get sick more than I ever did in my life. So yeah, it's bad.
I'll tell you what, man. I've had it 6 times now.
Yeah, I've had it 3.
And the thing is that not only am I vaccinated, but I've had the booster as well. Yeah. And I had to do that because you can't international travel if you haven't had those. And I'll tell you what, when I got that second shot, I got sick as a dog, worse than I ever did with having the coof. So, let's see, who's the satellite man?
I believe that's Tony. What's his name? I think that's who that is.
Yeah, Tony. I forgot his last name too.
The guy that says his penis is registered with the government. Isn't that him?
Yeah, I sent you. That's the guy I sent you a clip about this. Yeah, so the satellite man controls Tony's movements and stuff.
I forgot his last name. I'm not even thinking right now. I just got up a couple hours ago. I did my walk and talk this morning. I barely made it home. I drank a bunch of water and I passed out, and I got up, took a shower, had a little dinner, and went to get my medicine from Walgreens. And then and it's funny because at 8:51 I go, oh my God, I'm late for my show with Poe. And I went in the back and nobody's there. And then I go back to the email and it says we start at 10. And I go, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I had a 2-hour interview with Miriam Francis out of Australia. She was raised in Scientology, and her father SA'd her from the age of about 3 years to 11 years. And then Scientology moved him out of the country to hide him from being prosecuted for it.
Oh.
And, everything that's going on with that. She got some treatments that help her with the, they call PTSD or PTSI, whichever you want to call it. Right. So she'd got some treatments on that. It's absolutely turned her around. She's doing wonderful. And just recently she was protesting Scientology in Melbourne, Australia. And some guy came up and smacked her phone right out of her hand. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
A Canadian girl went to the movie theater to get popcorn, huh?
Awesome. That's awesome.
So it's I waited till that comment, so that was a different. I didn't want to transition too roughly over to. So it's Tony Chase. People were saying it in the comments, and I looked it up too. Tony Chase.
And Lou's welcome here anytime he wants. So
I don't know if Lou's even up at this time. He's probably not up at this time. He gets up quite early. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you.
You got gifted that Catalano TV membership from Kitty. Make sure you let Kitty know you appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate it. We love Miss Kitty. Thank you, Miss Kitty, so much. She's done a lot for this channel, a lot. So.
Oh yeah. So, all right. So all right. Yeah, Joe, if you want to handle that one for those who don't understand, what is the Dabbleverse?
Well, the Dabbleverse is all about one stuttering John. There's an interview with Christy Mayer where she made a statement to John, so you dabble in comedy, and John paused, and he says, I dabble. What do you mean I dabble in comedy? I mean, I've been a stand-up comedian for 20 years, a headliner, and it took off, and then Carl Heberger was the guy that really started the whole show with bouncing on John, and Shuli and Carl got together, and then Shuli started the weekly show, and then it just bloomed to what it is today. I mean, it's pretty much. I mean, it started because of John. I don't know if it's so much all about John now.
Right.
I mean, not to bring up any bad memories or good memories, but I take a good hit from the Dabbleverse as much as John does. So, and yeah, thank you, my lost sisters. I saw. Thank you very much. Thank you. But yeah, so it's a lot of characters in the Dabbleverse. You got a potato, you got a puppet, you got an orange, you got Helga, you got so many different people in there. I mean, and you got very interesting chatters and very interesting trolls, and you
Oh
got
yeah.
Clearwater Chad, and you got John Ponow, who are part of
Yep.
this, and you got a lot of great people in here. You got Angry Hot Dog Man, the red face Kevin Brennan, Neil Brennan's brother. You got Rocco and El Horrible, and you got Chad Zumock, and there's a whole line of characters in this Dabbleverse. So
And once you get in the Dabbleverse, you cannot leave. It's
Well,
just you can't leave.
it's almost impossible if you're somebody that's on the front line, whether you're being destroyed every day or they're loving you. There's no turning back out of it. There's just impossibility.
It's kind of like getting vaxxed. Once it's done,
Yeah,
it's done.
and until it dies. If it dies completely and goes away, that's the only way out. I mean, and you got great clippers like Doom and My Lost Interest,
Yep.
and there's several other clippers that are great clippers. You got Sykes, who does a wonderful job. You got Bob Levy, who does, you got so many people that are just good people, and most of the chatters are good. You got a lot of really hateful ones, but it comes with the territory. It's just what I was told, that the Dabbleverse is nothing compared to the other parts of YouTube with the trolls. That we're got the lightest trolls out of all YouTube, and that's what I was told the other day. So
yeah. But the thing is that we're all here for a common reason, and we're all here to enjoy and have fun with it. So, Chad, you got something for us tonight?
I addicted to you, Bikini. How are you?
I do. Oh, I guess I could say
weather report.
Oh, I thought I did that.
You did?
Oh, did you?
He did. He did. Yeah, he did.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going on 3 different things at one
He
time.
might want to
No,
you're injunction he's got against him. The city. I heard the city put an injunction on him for strolling in the park at Stuttering John.
I love them having the most fun with Sutter and John. I'm almost obsessed with it.
Let's see. Trolls like the light beer John drinks. There you
exactly,
go.
Miss Kitty.
Which I have one right here, folks. Skull!
Skull! So I guess the
right.
stuttering idiot had an interesting week. He went from what everybody thought for a second there, at least I thought, that he was trying to be humble to retracting that he's not broke, and I mean, it was one of 3 scenarios. Is he doing this to convince Vince he's broke? Is Vince and him doing this together? Is John really buy a boat? Was it the neighbors? Did they rent it? Listen, John, everything out of John's mouth is never 100% truthful. So it's no telling at this point what he's
I was just wondering, has he touched that topic at all?
Yes, he did.
What did he say?
He came out and said that he, first of all, he was sorry he lied about that he had a boat. He made that statement. And in the same stream, he goes, I can't afford a boat. I'm flat broke. I can't afford a boat. And then the next day he retracts all that. Now he's back on the powerhouse. And are you kidding me? The rumors are that he did that for people don't find his boat. He lives in a small town in Florida. There's not many marinas there. I don't imagine John going far with his boat. If he does have a boat, it's going to be close to his home. So he's afraid someone's going to go vandalize it. Who knows what it is with him,
Right.
It's got to do with money. It's probably he's trying to not pay Vince, which he already has stiffed him on 2 payments, from what I understand.
Wow.
If that's even if that's all real. We know that he did file a lawsuit, $12 million, but we knew that if you were smart enough, you knew that was going to be an all work and retracted. So who knows? I mean, Vince pulls a lot of hats, a lot of tricks in a hat. So he's going after Shuli hard, which Shuli's too calm and cool and collective to outsmart him. So I think that he just sits back and he just waits for his opportunity. John is the opposite. John is high strung. John is a guy that he don't care what he says. He don't care. He's I kind of like have that same format. I start talking. I get mad. I don't think before I speak. John's the same way. Shuli's more calm, cool, collective, and I think in the long run, if they really attacked Shuli and try to take him to court, I think they would lose miserably, just based on what he has on video on John threatening and things he said about Julie's children. I don't think it's smart that they play that game, but who am I? I'm just a low toad on the totem pole,
Hey, we all are. Ain't none of us superstars here. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and you said he was covering that today, right? Talking about it.
He talked about it the last couple of days. I think it was Julie did. Yes, it was 2 days ago when he was on with Vince the lawyer. His stream 2 days ago. And I don't know if John takes down a lot of his stuff and he puts it on Patreon. So it's I don't know if he's got it even up. It's available. I thought I had some of it. I might have it. I might be able to send it to you.
From the
day. While they're doing that, folks, let's just confirm the fact that John does have a boat. John does have a Mercedes. He has over $4 million in the bank, and those are all confirmed facts, folks.
Okay.
Well, it's you're his alter ego, so
yep.
There it is, folks. John is a multimillionaire.
I have no idea who Quad is.
Quad Father. That's a BYB boys. He's got a channel. Quad is the one in a wheelchair that was once also John's co-host, and John wished him to be in wheelchair hell and prison for the rest of his life. Which that's not even funny because he is going to be in wheelchair the rest of his life. But John got mad when he got betrayed. But Quad, he came out at the right time to stick up for a great friend of everybody's, Dr. Steve. John was doing some really bad things to Dr. Steve, which was unwarranted. And Quad Father struck at the right time, and John just doesn't get it. You don't go after the good people like that. Quad Father has really come a long way. He's had his share of trolls over his time on the internet, and he's got quite a good show now. He's on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and he's doing a good job. Quad Father, I wish him nothing but the best. So,
John's been saying that he's going. I think this is recent. All the streams run together. I think he's been saying he's going to go into Kevin Brennan's house pretty soon.
That's the latest. My Lost Interest, I believe. You can get a lot of stuff for John if you go to My Lost Interest page. He won't mind if you show his videos as long as you give him his where they came from and give him his credit.
Give him full credit on it.
Yeah. My Lost Interest has a lot of stuff on John, so you'll be able to get quite a bit of stuff off of there. And Doom as well. Doom as well. Doom as well. Those two guys have got a lot of coverage.
And Vito, my perspective on it, I love it. Honestly, it's a lot of back and forth stuff. People talking, taking the piss out of each other. I like it. So, I'm happy to be here, and I think it's some pretty good stuff.
He says that, folks, but he didn't watch any Tony Chase videos yet. So let's see after that.
Chase,
I'm trying to just keep up with what I got.
Tony Chase is a wild guy, man. This guy is, man. I mean,
you won't know what hit you, Poe.
This guy, you won't know what you think. Stuttering John is crazy down now. Tony Chase got John beat by tenfold.
Yeah.
This guy
and
is
Doom.
Tony.
I've been watching some of your content too. So
yeah, Doom and My Lost Interest are two of the big Dabbleverse Clippers.
And it comes in handy because everything's behind a paywall, so you can go to Doom or Lost Interest, or
they do a great job. You got Citizen M, but Citizen M strictly does certain like steel toe, pretty much. Then you got Sykes, who does a lot of Bob Levy stuff, and other channels. I'm missing a couple Clippers. I know I am. I'm just not thinking right today. But there's just about 4 or 5. Tomorrow's a Dabbleverse Awards, which by a Carlos Danger. Which he can kiss my ass. I'm telling you now, if you're watching Carlos kiss my ass, you take me up from a category of the best newcomer to the 3 shit categories of the Dabbleverse. That's okay, buddy. I'll be all right.
All right. So we ready to enter into the unhinged world of Stuttering John?
Yes, we are ready.
Yep.
All right. And I think this was his from earlier. No, this is from October 31st. But it's the newest one that's up on there. It must be the one he didn't take down. So
yeah, he takes a lot of them down. Like I said, you could probably get a lot of stuff from My Lost Interest or Doom. They might have newer stuff.
Okay. All right. So here we go.
In the room with the L's. They trying to hurt Johnny. The children are here. Oh, God. It's amazing, isn't it?
Well, he's wearing the right shirt for the winter there,
Well, you usually catch his shirts all stained with food or spit or something on them,
Yeah.
So he's looking like that one might be a new shirt, cleaned at least,
Well, by the appearance of that neckline on that being wrung out like it is, he's probably worn it for a few days then.
Yeah, my guess is John don't change too often. He probably every 3 days he probably changes.
Doesn't he know what a razor is?
He does, but when he shaves, he misses a lot of spots. I mean,
Yeah.
you'll know when he freshly shaves. You'll point out to him you missed a lot, and he's like, I know, yeah, I know, or he'll like, no, I didn't, or he'll just, he is what he is. He's just I don't know. I don't even know what to call him anymore. He's just I call him an idiot. That's what he is, a big idiot.
And what's up with that Spock eyebrow he's got going there?
Exactly, and look at the spots on his face. John's definitely got some kind of medical condition. There's definitely been people have noticed liver spots on his body.
I was
His
about
arm
to say,
and
what,
fingers.
cirrhosis?
Well, it's very possible. He drinks like a fish. I mean, he drinks a
Jeez.
lot of alcohol, man. I mean, he said at one point he said he has to spend $75 a day, I think, on alcohol at the pub when he was
Lord.
going, and that's what he needs every day. That's guaranteed. He must take 75 a day out what he makes, and then you sit there and you go, but what if you're rich? What's the difference? But he's like, he's got a set thing out of what he makes every month, and 75 a day, I think was his number. And he don't tip well, so he sits there and he maybe gives a couple $1 tip. He's a bad tipper from what I understand. And
Oh, wow.
I think he was already thrown out of his local establishment where he moved down here in Florida. I think they already banned him out of there just of the drama he brings.
Let's see. Duchess, Donna, and Hudson of Mississippi. Jake and I will see you soon, Joey.
I'll be waiting anytime.
Let's see. He does drink like a biatch. Let's see.
He does.
Oh, wow. Has open sores on his hands and feet.
Yes.
That sounds more like diabetes.
Well,
than,
yeah. He's got a wart problem with genital warts. And now they're saying how many women he didn't tell that he might have slept with that he didn't tell them that. And now he came on this big kick this week. I've never given genital warts to nobody. No female. Well, nobody. Well, all right. But what about the men you slept with, John? Did you give them genital warts? Why don't you tell about those experiences?
Yeah, you should have told those guys, man. My gosh.
They never asked, he said.
Yeah, he's
Lord have mercy. He's gonna be losing a leg pretty soon here.
Yeah.
It could be that. Could it be that it's liver failure?
It could be. I mean, you drink. They say an alcoholic, you could get a lot more wear and tear out of your liver with hard liquor than you do beer. Beer just destroys it.
Really?
Beer really destroys it more than. I mean, you'll get either way. You can get cirrhosis of the liver, but you could go a little longer with alcohol than with beer. Beer is like something really bad for the liver over a length of time. So.
Yeah. Canadian girl has a question. He gets women.
Well, I don't think he does anymore, Canadian girl. I don't think he claims he does, but I think he hires hookers and a therapist and those people that give massages and stuff. John's been known like I said, he commits a felony a day at least on his show, but he's just went as far as he's mailed drugs to his house. That's a federal crime if he really did. It's allegedly now. This is all allegedly. I don't want to sit there and say he does anything and get him to have sick Vince Delore on me to sue me. Allegedly.
Don't forget, Joey. He'll come to your house. So
I don't. That I wish for every day of my life, but that's something I wish for. But this allegedly has mailed cocaine to his house. He's allegedly says that he gets it through Dan the Man, his partner. He was trying to sleep with a 22-year-old girl who was old enough to be his granddaughter. Allegedly, Kate Meany tapes and
then she doxed him.
She taped every conversation with him. He was it was sick. It just was sick to hear a man. I mean, Jesus, I can't even imagine it, man.
Well, what I know is he looks sick, I mean, and it goes back to, I've said it before, if literally if syphilis was a person, that's how it looks to me.
He said he's in the best shape of his life, Poe. He's 170 pounds.
I don't know about that. You could be physically in shape, but if your internal organs are shot and there's no hope for repairing, you have to stay in physically just to wake up every day. That's why he does it. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to get out of bed. If he just let himself be a fat slob, he would debilitate to be where he's bedridden all the time, and he would just die. I don't think John's got much life left. God forbid, I knock on wood. I don't wish anybody to have any death, but he, I don't personally, as just observing him, I don't think he has many years left in life. I think he knows that, and I think he's trying to just go out the way he wants to. Like everybody knows him as the buffoon he is, and I think that's what he's aiming for. So,
has he had Botox?
Probably, no telling with John. It's very possible he has.
Wow.
Who knows?
Wow.
I know that he's my theory, and this is also my theory, and again, allegedly, I think he gets a nice check every year from his mother, who has been his backbone supporter and his financial supporter since he's been broke. He goes every year for the holidays, and he's on his way to New York, I think, soon, where he'll stay a good amount of time there. And I think he does that only because of check. God forbid if John's mother doesn't go before John, that'll be a loss to John, And if she goes before him, he'll slide right in and steal all the money and not give his sister anything. I believe he's that type of person. So,
jeez.
Well, don't forget he does have a Writers Guild pension.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
I guess so.
Yeah.
I wish I could find his name on the Writer Guild's with his SAG card, but I don't see none of it. So.
I don't know. Does he look like he's had hair implants?
Who knows with John? He's he got a tattoo on his arm, and he claims he paid just recently. He just had the tattoo, and I think it was a $1,500 tattoo. Now the original artwork it's very common if you call, talk to a tattoo artist, or you visit with a tattoo and you ask him to draw up some stuff, he'll send it to you. I mean, that's normal. They're going to send it to you. Do you like this? Where is it? So he turned around and took the version, I guess, of what a real nice shop designed for him, and went to someone much cheaper to do that, and it came out really poorly. So,
If anyone has the time, I have to say this. I just have to visit Cardiff's Electric's Rumble channel. He made an animated cartoon of John's tattoo, and it's the funniest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Jeez. He, my goodness. He looks like he's in great shape with that chin sagging like that. So,
if you don't mind, John,
Mhm.
I don't know. I had talked to him earlier, but a couple of days ago, but I'll send Cardiff the link he might be able to come on for a few minutes. Let me send Cardiff.
He's a great guy.
While you're doing that, I'll go ahead and play some more.
John's tattoo, Cardiff named it, was it Skull Larson or something?
It's Skull Larson, yeah. He'll come on as Skull Larson for us, I should have thought about this earlier, but he may be available. I don't know. Is he doing anything tonight? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He, I mean, honestly, Laura, I agree there. They should be using him on commercials for like Metformin and Januvia and stuff like that. So, I mean, he sounds like a walking advertisement for diabetes medicine. So, all right, let's see what else he's got to say here.
Oh, don't they know it's just one button away from fucking getting rid of these adults? Okay.
He honestly can't be serious. I mean, if he's got people that are watching his content, giving him super chats, and he's talking about banning them.
Yeah. Well, he did that yesterday. He banned a lot of people yesterday.
I mean, literally, that's the definition of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
Jeez.
There we go. Goodbye, Chris Hall. Goodbye, Booster TK.
Goodbye, money.
Goodbye, I'm with stupid.
Now, John had a band.
Goodbye, Mickey the Gracious.
Yeah.
And he had a professional record contract.
Goodbye forever, Tim Dran.
Yeah, I mean, and especially in the time that you were talking about getting a record contract back then, my gosh, you were out there fighting with bands like Poison and stuff like that, Motley Crue.
He opened for all those bands like that.
Yeah, he got the opportunity to get a record contract. Why in the hell, haven't we heard of his band?
He's blown a lot of opportunities. John, probably the opportunities he had in his life, if he'd done right and just was humble and really worked hard at it, this guy would have more money and be so well loved. He just did the opposite. It's like what's a good example? It's like the con man that chases pennies all the time his whole life. He chases pennies. He's good enough. They're good enough to chase the big picture, but they just don't believe in themselves. And that's how I feel John is with his life. He just never believed that he really can amount to anything, but he always had the opportunity, so.
Right.
This is another bad troll here you want to not have in your circle here, so.
It's not in my chat, so I can't.
It might have been mine.
It's one of you guys's. So
we'll see how they play tonight. But yeah, she's going after Chad a lot lately. I don't know. She's really harmless, but I don't care what they say until they get personal and they start digging at you with things they shouldn't be doing. And,
what'd you do, Chad?
Oh, he didn't do nothing.
What did I do?
Yeah, with all those PPOs and restraining orders you got against you, what did you do?
I'm denying all that stuff. I'm one of the good guys.
All right.
Cardiff is on Rumble Live right now, so I didn't know that. See, I figured he might have been doing a show tonight. So is OJ with him too? A JT? If yours is wrench, just maybe he could. There's a way of doing it. He could come on a minute and still be on his show. I don't know if he'll be able to do that.
I don't know if he'd be able to stream to. He might, because there's a Rumble link in the Streamyard.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean,
they're saying your Amazon list doesn't work.
It does. I don't know why. It does.
Well, throw it in there. Throw it in the chat. So, in case I know, like with mine, my link for my Amazon list, for some reason it got real. It got corrupted somehow. Every time, from the continued using it on StreamYard, I had to go back in and redo it all. So,
yeah, that's possible. Let me see.
Rick from New York says he still got his wrench.
Nice.
Yeah, Rick's one of my guys. I just got to talking to Rick a little while ago. He's a good guy.
Yeah. So let's see.
Oh, thanks, Brendan.
Oh, he said, yeah. Want to send him a link. Okay, cool. Rochi wants to know if you got your pills from Walgreens.
I did, Rochi. Thank you. I did.
Good.
Yeah, my blood pressure medicine. I took my last one yesterday, so I got
I
it.
don't think you'd be here if you had a heart attack this morning, would you?
No, I came very close to. I could barely make. I was like probably 500 feet from my door, and I faded, man. My wife. I kept saying, if anybody's got my wife's number, call her, told her to meet me outside, please. But when I got upstairs, obviously no one called her because she was still sleeping. And I said, I got home and I just guzzled a couple of waters and I was out of breath and I was dizzy. So I laid down. Next thing I knew, I woke up. It was like 6:30 or 7 at night. So,
wow.
And I got up at 8, showered, and then I went to Walgreens and got my medicine. So
there we go. All right, let's get back to the Duke.
Ansky. Goodbye.
Man, look how bloodshot those eyes are.
Right.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, Detroit Dabbler.
What? Let's get to some content here, Duke.
All righty.
Jeez.
He said all right.
Okay.
This was probably one of his boring ones. I think this one was
Whatever.
His 31st. I thought I had the one where he was.
Does he have black mold on his face?
Oh, there ain't no telling. He's John.
Anyway, how
his
y'all
hands.
doing
He's
today?
got a messed up finger. He's got
I'm doing
spots.
very well.
Mostly his feet are supposed to be really
One of my
bad.
chats
I don't know.
aren't there, but they're not.
Wow.
There's no telling with John
let's
what's
see.
real and what's fake anymore. He's just a character. He's
Jeez. I'm with that eyebrow there.
Okay,
I
there
mean,
they
he
are.
shouldn't be showing any emotion at all. I mean,
Well, here's a good one I got.
Let's see. Goodbye. This is
that
going to be a great one.
what's that?
I put something down in the file. Presented. This
that
is how
Trump has
John.
been good for
This is how
comedy.
the Dabbleverse started right here.
Oh, nice. I love this clip.
Is this whole interview going to be about Trump or?
If you really don't want to talk about it, I just figured.
I
thought you had done. I thought you had dabbled occasionally in stand up. So
Here it is.
that's why I brought that up.
I dabbled occasionally, really.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was a thing you were really doing or not, and I wasn't sure.
Oh, no. I've been doing stand up for 20 years. I don't
Oh,
dabble.
okay, that's good. Have you been getting up much in the last 6 months or so?
Well, since all my gigs have been canceled due to COVID, no, I haven't.
But I
Yeah.
had like, 15, probably more, 20 gigs canceled due to COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the states have been opening up here and there, like North Carolina is back open. I just didn't know if, the states that had sort of been making it work with the, 25%, customers allowed in, like if you were able to, rebook anything in the last few months since things have opened up again.
But you know what, Christy, to say I dabbled in stand-up is so
This ate him up.
I
This
haven't been
ate him up when she
disrespectful
did that
to you
to
at all.
My gosh, I
And yet
mean,
you
if it
disrespect me
wasn't
and
for
say
her,
I
there'd be
Oh,
no
dabbled.
I
interview
didn't,
here.
I
That's
mean, I
right.
could have picked a different word. I didn't know that it was your main thing, honestly.
I dabbled in stand-up. Okay.
He couldn't get past this. I'm gonna tell you, he was so.
He's not
upset.
even done
I mean
yet.
that's so disrespectful, and I'm doing your show.
I honestly, I don't know the extent to which you do
Anyway.
stand up. I mean, isn't that the point of an interview? Is like, oh, you can correct me if I'm wrong about
No,
something.
no. You dabbled in stand-up when
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know how much stand up you do, John. It was just
I've
an
heard
honest
line
thing.
places all over, and you say I dabbled in stand-up. Come on, that's
Yeah, how he was just
Come
he
on.
couldn't get over it,
So
John.
you're
That's
more
it.
than a dabbler. That's fine.
I want to see him stand up. Period.
I don't. Hey, I've been wrong. It's fine. It's like, it's really not a big deal. You probably didn't know that I did stand up. It's okay. It's
And she's still doing stand up, and he's not.
we're not like
Yeah.
that's what an interview is. You learn more about the other person. So
This isn't an interview. This is
Well, you
literally
seem to
her
be
talking
pretty
to the team.
Yeah.
schooled in everything else, so you would think that you've seen that I've been doing stand-up
oh
for
Where the hell is he headlining
well,
at?
thank you. I
Oh,
wanted
he
to
hasn't. He
prepare.
hasn't.
So
If he
I feel
has,
like,
it must have been 20
but
years ago.
I don't know all there is
John's
to
not a
know
stand-up
about
comedian.
Stuttering John. So hence the interview.
You know what I'm really wondering about is
so
why
I
I
guess-
haven't
so you
heard
don't
about
wanna
all
talk
his
about Trump
sold out shows
anymore.
at MSG.
No,
Right.
I'll talk about him, but I don't know why. I mean, I didn't know this was going to be a political,
Oh
discussion.
no,
I thought-
that was not my goal either.
all right.
I've talked with a bunch of other comedians. Some people say he has been great for comedy. Some people think the Trump jokes are getting a little tired. It's a question that I was asking without it being like a triggering, political
as a
thing.
comedian, of you, as a comedian, you're a comedian, right?
Yes, I dabble.
She's good.
Very disrespectful.
Have you seen her stand up, Joey?
No, I've never, but I know she was just in Florida a few months ago. Her and
Well, I
her
mean,
group.
she's handling John pretty good right now. So
She could handle it. Yeah, she did. This is where it started. This is the Dabbleverse created right here. She is the sole responsibility of this interview. Is what the Dabbleverse became, what it is today. It wasn't been here. I don't think if this interview didn't happen.
yeah, and
I think John
Steven-
regrets that day of doing that interview because him being a jerk like he is in here was
Oh,
just
yeah.
the opportunity for everybody to go, okay, we found what we're gonna have in YouTube, and we found our mark, and this is it, John. I don't know if this is a picture or a video. I'm not sure. No, that wasn't a. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm trying to
Moose,
find.
I tried to jump in on one of your lives the other day in the chat. You had your chat turned off, man.
Who
But
did?
just letting you know, I've been around and seen some of your lives there. So, hit me up sometime. What was it? Oh, and Steven, she didn't know the Stern universe. She is so much younger than John is.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask my kids, they're 27 years old. They have no idea who the hell Howard Stern is. So a lot of the younger people don't know.
No, it's true. A lot of the younger people, they go, Howard who? It's my age group, and like 40 something and up is usually the people that can tell you they know about Howard Stern. But anybody younger in their 30s and 20s, you got at least 20s for sure. You got no prayer of them knowing who Howard Stern was.
Yep, it's a Newport, Sean.
Nice.
I mean, my gosh, this guy is something else, ain't he?
You got to. I mean, there's other things on the internet if you want to get. It's like he Artie Lang, who was a real comedian and was John's friend, and John is, he when Artie was on with Anthony Cumio with John, and there was a big controversy there. John takes everything personal, so he'll turn around and try to stab you in the back by by going very vocal on that person. Now, Artie is a true comedian. John, I don't know why he thinks he's even in the league with Artie Lang or Jackie Joke Man or guys like that. But John is one thing about John. He's convinced himself. Everything he says about himself. You see, it's like an habitual liar. People don't realize that's a disease. A habitual liar believes what they're saying. They don't understand. They're not telling lies. They're telling a story. You understand? They believe it. You understand? So John in his mind, and I'm not trying to defend him, he is the habitual liar where he actually created in his mind that he is number one in all these things he claims he is.
Joey, I'm sure you're familiar with the story. I'm sure you know it much better than I when John was trying to see if he was good enough to play football.
Yeah, there's a video out there about him going for the tryout. Yeah, well, he made a lot of statements like that he could do this, but and they gave him a tryout. The football team gave him a tryout, and John is very competitive. He don't like to lose, but I think John, especially the last 10 years of his life, he's lost dramatically on everything he's done. He won't admit that.
In John's defense, he almost went pro. So
yeah,
almost. Yeah, that's that works good in hand grenades and nuclear weapons, but not in.
Here's a good example there, Mr. Clearwater. If you win 105 games in the NL West, and you go to the playoffs and you lose the game, those 105 games that you won, they don't mean nothing because you lost the final game that needed to go to the World Series. So it's irrelevant.
Yeah, and what is the AC stuff that they were talking about where he was calling security on people?
Oh yeah. Okay, he went to AC. Brock Lee had wanted to give John the best weekend of his life, which according to Brock Lee, when I talked to him on the phone after the event he was telling me everything. John was in seventh heaven. They rolled the red carpet out for him. Fans were buying him drinks and food, and John didn't have to spend $1. He got him there, but John got very demanding. He wanted, I was supposed to go there. Brock Lee wanted to invite me, but I'm like, listen. And he goes, but John got involved. And John told him, no, he's going to pay for Dan. You don't get involved. And I'm like, listen, I didn't ask the guy. He asked me. So I just told Brock Lee, listen, I was still kind of on. This is right before I got on the outs with John. So I said, all right, John, because he made Brock Lee give him money to bring down his buddy Dan and his wife, which, they brought down, obviously. They were all high on drugs. And Vince DeLoyer was there. But that's where he was confronted by El Harry, by Rocco, with the famous. That's just how Rocco won the Dabbler of the Year award by asking John if his son queeved in his face, stuff like that. And John had fought with everybody. He was going to kill everybody, hurt everybody. Brennan and him were pretty cool. And then a couple of days after that, Brennan went rogue on him, and it was just a war. But I think that they're right about John is deeply in love with Kevin Brennan, and I think. Someone sent me a chat the other day saying they would only wish that John, Vincent, and KB would really be lovers and they have a threesome together. It would make his decade if he saw that, and which I think is very feasible because they're all in love with each other, Vince the lawyer and John and Kevin Brennan. So, but there's a lot of stuff on. If you go to, I think who made the clip? I think it was Misery Loves Clips. We'll have the clip. I'm talking about John's recent stuff. Where Kevin Brennan was, because I just played it the other day when I did my show. You go to Misery Loves Clips.
Yep,
and it should be that's where it was. That's where I remember. Like I said, in My Lost Interest, I think Doom and My Lost has got a lot of stuff too. But this is recent that I know that because I did it the other day.
Stuttering John's boat prank was the sorcerer in on it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. So that'll give you more in depth what John did this week and what he was, where he admitted he was. He lied and he was broke. And then the next day, of course, he changed that up real quick.
Oh, okay. Let's see what they got to say on us then. Let's see. Let me get that.
Make sure we announce that we're playing Misery Love Clip because Brennan will turn around and he will come after you and put a strike on you for playing it. If you don't stop it every couple. Yeah, he's a jerk. He will.
Oh, then I ain't gonna play his shit then.
Yeah.
No, if you gonna be
he hasn't done it to me because I did it right. I stopped it. I did. I did it the other day, and he didn't say nothing. So,
well, I was gonna give him credit for it, but I mean,
like I said, as long as you give him credit and you do it the right way, he won't do anything wrong. He just makes sure you talk over it. We talk over it. We stop it every couple of seconds, and it's only like it's only like a 11-minute video, I think. And we're not trying to claim it. We're claiming it's his, and we're giving it to him.
No, we're giving him credit for it. I don't know why
it came from him, Kevin Brennan. My you got to really put him on the pedestal.
Matter of fact, we'll do it even better. This is the link to that clip.
Yeah.
And this one is from Misery Loves Clips.
Kevin
And
Brennan,
this
MLC
was 2 days
podcast.
ago. So hopefully
Exclusively
that
from
will,
MLC podcast. Basically, this is on behalf of the great Kevin Brennan as we
Okay.
play his clip here.
I want to get past the intro music there.
This is where you live. It's self-preservation around you. You can't be flying any type of Biden flags. My God, that place is Republican.
Yeah, and these guys got me, Vince. I didn't buy a boat. I was up.
Here it is.
You're such an asshole. So you lied.
So he just admitted it, huh?
Yeah, that's the first admission right there. Vince calls. This is why Brennan is a true professional. He really is. He's got a good resume. He's done a lot of things in his life. He's just a sour guy because his baby brother, became more famous than him.
Neil.
This guy Kevin Brennan wrote for Saturday Night Live. He was a true stand-up comedian. He's done a lot of things in his life. He's not a bad person. They say he's totally different outside of his podcast, that he's a really family-oriented guy and a nice guy. I haven't had the pleasure of physically meeting him, but I was on about a dozen of his shows with him. But Vince calls him an Irish, drunken, he calls him, what does he call the exact words? Let me see. I wrote it down the way. He calls him an Irish, what was the exact way he put it? Well, we'll see. Here it is right here. I think it's right here. This is what steamed him because, and Vince said, and he don't have money, and Brennan's probably got more money than John. I don't know if he's got more money than Vince. Yeah, he called him an Irish drunk gambler. That's what he called him.
Well, Brandon says that he's already gone against this and said he does have a boat now.
Yeah, right. This is what he did. This is what he did yesterday. This was 2 days ago.
Wow.
And then yesterday, Shuli showed how he reversed everything. And now he's not broke. He's got a boat and he's bragging again. And,
Well,
so
this ain't
where it
Uno.
started.
You don't just get to throw a reverse card out there.
Well, he thinks he can. John thinks it's okay to do that.
Jeez. And my goodness. Looks like if he's taking Botox, it's not working there with them wrinkles or with them eyes.
Yeah. And Vince is the evil lawyer. Vince is a real lawyer in BC law firm, very successful lawyer who is big Howard Stern fan, and he does a great job as a podcaster. Vince is very entertaining, and but he is very good at picking and poking, and he's got the money, and he has a bunch of sock accounts, and he terrorizes the Dabbleverse, and but his targets are John and Shuli, and for him I got to believe it's all amusement because Vince really gets off on it. The fact that he's a big fan of these guys, because Howard Stern people. And this is amusement for Vince, and Vince is very good at what he does. And John is pretty easy for anybody could get John. I mean, you don't even have to be a professional to get John.
Mm-hmm.
But John thinks that he's got a top of the world against everybody, and he's failing miserably at that. So,
wow, I loved it. John Tart said, "Lying about lying about lying."
Yeah.
That's I mean, how better to do it than just to keep lying to cover everything up? So,
yeah.
All right, let's see what else he's got here.
To me about that too.
Yeah, I was just fucking around. I mean, I can't afford a boat.
Oh, gee.
I don't know if you're lying or not, but either way, Kelsey, take that kayak.
Brennan, he's just about ready to blow a gasket.
Owing account in 1K proves you don't own the boat. Yes, I know. That's why it's fine. I was just fucking with you idiots.
Right. Like they were with you with Kumia, but then it was an outrage. It was a crime of the century. But now it's okay because John's doing it.
There you go.
Because
Perfectly
I love
well said.
really, Vince, I like to fuck with Kevin Brennan.
All right.
Of course, you're in love with him, and you like that he's watching you. He was so mad. He was asking the dude that actually owns boats, like, wait.
Wait. I was mad. The dude who allegedly owns boats, unless I see the Sorcerer's boats, he doesn't own 2 or 3. How many is it? Wait, it's like Ray with girlfriends. How many boats do I have?
Right.
I don't know. So
Well, to be honest, I mean, owning a 1993 Mercedes is a Mercedes. It's
Right.
just not a relevant Mercedes, but
Now, Laura's asking a question. Joey, has he targeted you? Laura, which one? Vince or
I'm talking about John.
John has targeted me many times. I podcast with John. I was one of his many of his sidekicks in the past, and yeah, John has came after me, but not as much as he's went after other people. Because John only going to go after people that he knows are very weak, and that they got no leg to stand on to fight against him. He knows that he's getting nowhere. Me, we showed it, I think, one time on Poe's channel here, or the infamous where I fought with John on his channel.
Yeah.
And John said John played one of my clips, and he had the nerve to say I was a funny looking guy.
Oh, he did play one of your clips, so he does know about you. I told you it would happen. He couldn't resist to not play one of your clips.
I don't know what he's upset about. So
yeah.
He didn't really know what to think of it.
He goes after everybody. So
everybody. And he'll try to find out. He'll try to be your best friend. John sets you up with a lie. He calls it his strategy, where he'll tell you a bunch of bad information to see where you go with it. And if you go the direction he thinks that you're going to go, then he'll know you're an enemy. But if you pass his test, then he'll try to be your best friend. But in the meantime, he'll ask you a lot of personal questions. He'll try to find out as much again, because when he goes ready to go rogue on you, it's all about doxing and ripping you apart. And John has doxed my number several times. He attacked me a few times, but I don't sweat that little 5'7" runt, because he's just all flabbergasted bullshit out of his mouth. And I could be one leg and one arm and one eye, and I think I still would laugh at him. So.
Let's see. All right, let's see what else they got to say here.
Dude, you mean the alleged sorcerer? I was mad at him because he has boats. I have never seen his boats. So sorry. As far as I'm concerned, he has 0 boats. 0.
How do I get enough money? Of course, you're in love with him and you like that he's watching you. He was so mad. He was asking
we just watched it. Was I so mad? I was just asking questions. I knew John didn't own a boat. John had to get sued for child support. But the sorcerer was like, yeah, I think he does have a boat. It's possible with compound interest. And, John has no money. John's mom bought his house. And I'm not going from sources. John told me that.
Well. He told me that too. Yeah, John had told me that too. That's one of the things I have on John. John is not with money. His mother, like I said, his mother is his sole supporter. What he makes for the Dabbleverse is his drinking money and his living money every day. John don't even have furniture. He one time filled his whole house with air mattresses and air couches and air. I mean, this is what he does. He don't put sheets or nothing on his bed. He's just he drinks beers. He throws the cans all over the floor. He'll only change the cat litter box if it smells. I mean, he's not a cleanly person. He's not a guy that spends money on stuff for himself. He likes the bare minimum. So Brennan's very good at what he does. One thing, Brennan is a professional. And if he was to go one-on-one with John would lose. He would lose badly to Brennan. Badly.
Well, the way you're describing him, it sounds like a kid off at college for the first time being away from mom and dad and having to take care of their own stuff.
I don't know if, God forbid, when that day happened, I don't want to wish nobody's mother, but his mother's 87 years old, so that day can come anytime now. When you're that old, you don't know when it's going to come. When it does come, if John is still alive, I think it's going to be very bad for him, how he projects, how he goes living day to day. Unless he comes out of that with a lot of money, which he'll blow within a year and a half anyhow. So John's going to be very lost without his mother.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
John's credit was shit, so his old mom had to buy the house. True. This is what John told me.
Told me too.
The dude that actually owns boats, like, wait, how do I get enough?
No. He doesn't know. He says he owns boats. We're not going by what anybody says anymore. Nobody. We're out of that world. We're not going by. We're again. He can the sorcerer can come on whatever he wants, talk about whatever he wants, but he does not own boats unless I actually go on his boat and I see a bill of sale. That's a fact.
Well, my point on it is that he just sat right there and said he doesn't own boats. He doesn't have the money for it. Right. So,
which is enough right there. Yeah. Why would a guy that brags about every day he's got all this money, he's this, he's that, he's this, but all of a sudden, out of the blue, for no reason possible, to change what he says every single day for the last year and a half to I'm broke, I can't afford a boat. So my thing is this: there's a serious angle here with John. John ain't gonna admit he's poor unless the end result's gonna be big payoff for him. You understand?
Right.
So he's angling something. I just don't know what yet.
He's the Duke.
Yeah. Jeez, Pete. This guy, again, train wreck. That's about as best as I can describe it. He's something else.
And you know what his motto is, John Poe? His motto is don't question the Duke. Your life will change.
Yeah, that's one of his models, and his other model is, he's karma. Karma is his biggest fan. When bad things have happened to other people, even if he was nowhere near it or even the cause of why that person got in trouble, he'll come on the show the next day, laugh and smile and say karma, and he's the one that orchestrated it. Like Stevie Lou with the incident in New York, he wanted to take credit for that so bad, but he didn't. He was nowhere near that. But that's how he is. If he got an enemy that attacks him, and just by the luck, the next day they get in some troubles, they step into some stuff. John is perfect opportunity for John to come back and say, "I told you, karma was a bitch. You see what happens when you mess with the Duke." That's how he's that type of person. So
Laura wants to know why he's called the Duke.
he gave himself that name. He used to be called the Goat. I was the baby goat. So that goes to show you that I was one of his true sidekicks. He was the goat and I was the baby goat. And he just thinks he's superior. John just thinks he's the Duke. He's the guy. John will let you know 10 ways to Sunday. This whole Dabbleverse is because of him and him only. If he pulls the plug on himself, the Dabbleverse falls. At this point, I'm going to say that's not going to happen. 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I would have said that people would have drowned without John. Today, there's too many characters now.
Yeah.
That they could just replace John. I mean, I'm probably the number one front candidate to bounce on in the Dabbleverse if John was to go. They would definitely. There's already 4 or 5 shows about me weekly that people are already starting that. Cardiff Electric has been a year ago. Cardiff Electric said, and I have him saying it. Telling Shuley, you might want to keep Joey C around. He may, if John leaves, may be the next stuttering John. So they already have designs to make me out what John is. The problem is, I'm not John. I'm. A lot of people say I my shows are like John. I don't try to be John. One thing that I got that John don't have is I got truth. He doesn't have any truth. I have truth. Again, we all have told fibs and lies, but I would never do what he does ever just to get money. I just wouldn't do that.
Well,
and that's all it comes from is him making a jackass out of himself. But hey, fine. If the Dabbleverse wants to make me the next stuttering John, that means I'm going to get paid very well, so I'll enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But they'll never make me out to be stuttering John the way they did John. So because it's impossible. So.
Well, I mean, when some people, that's the only way they can keep themselves even close to being relevant is they have to keep pronouncing just how great they are and how important they are. I mean, calling yourself the sorcerer or the wizard or whatever, and the goat, and then the Duke and all that. I mean, yeah, I could see him as a goat. I mean, he's getting pretty close to that look right now.
Yeah. But the Duke, I think, was all John. One day he changed it. He came on stream and he was the Duke. And that's what he really believes. In John's mind, he believes he's quality of a Duke. That's what he really is,
Wow.
And
he, I mean, and he, he's got the power. He, you cross him, and he, next thing you know, your karma's coming back and slapped you. So
he'll be at your house.
He will. He's made the threat. Was it today?
Yeah,
I think My Lost Interest has a clip. If you go to My Lost Interest, you'll have the clip of him declaring he's going to talk to Kevin Brennan. He's going to go visit him. He's already attempted.
Which one is it?
My Lost Interest latest video, I believe.
Yeah,
My Lost Interest. Yeah, he does a lot of clipping. Him and Doom do a lot of clipping for the Dabbleverse.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I think I've seen some.
Hey, Dela, how are you, Dela?
Let's see. 4 hours ago, Kevin Brennan replies to threats made by Stuttering John.
That's it. That would be it. Yeah.
All right, so let's bring this up, and let me pull this over here. Chad, we just lost your sound.
No, it's
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Still?
Okay, and this is from My Lost Interest. I'll put the link into the chat there
Yes.
for y'all.
Please support My Lost Interest. Support Doom, guys. The Clippers are very important to the Dabbleverse, guys. You guys, please go sign up for them, follow them, and give them a likes because they work hard. They work very hard.
All right.
Well, not really.
video unavailable.
Huh.
John took it down right away.
Now it's unavailable.
Yeah, of course, because John don't want
So
you to see
John
it.
was making threats
Of course he did, so he took it down.
towards me and my family.
Yep.
Oh, Johnny made it private.
Yes, he
Johnny
did.
made it private.
You see how Reddy's
Johnny's
getting in the face? That's why they
threatening
call him the
my
red face hot dog
family.
man.
What kind of threats did he make?
Well, who knows? John has physically made a lot of threats on a daily basis to this guy. He physically went to his home, where he lives in a high-rise building in Jersey somewhere. And John claims when he got there, the doorman was a big fan of his, and all he wanted to do was take pictures and get John's autograph. And John knew Kevin wasn't home at that time of day. Kevin's got a pretty easy routine. He goes out and rides his bicycle every day, and John knew he wasn't going to be home. But John did go there, and that's a threat. But if you physically go on someone's property after you're saying you're coming there, the way he says it, that's a threat. And nothing happens to John. Nobody does anything to John.
He said he's going back to his house.
And doesn't John live in Florida?
Yes, he just recently moved to Florida. Yes,
And he does realize Florida has a stand your ground law, right?
correct. I'm sure. He probably don't understand it, but they do have that law. Yes.
Yeah, he needs to start reading up on stuff. I mean, you come out and threaten the wrong person, then show up at their house.
In Florida, if he does that, someone's going to kill him and get off on the standalone. It's going to happen. That's how it will happen. You're right, because it's a very, very protective law. If it's done right, if you really do it the way the law says it. There was an incident a few years ago where a gentleman, it didn't work for this old man. Used to go to this. It was like the 7-Eleven, one of those little stores like 7-Eleven, and he'd go out there every day because people would park in a handicapped spot. Now he would only harass the black people, and there was this one guy that came every day, and he always parked in the handicapped spot. And this time he has his little son, and this guy kept provoking, and the guy kept trying to walk past him. And the guy provoked him, where he finally got the guy went to raise a hand to the guy. He pulled the gun and shot the guy, and he used the stand-alone law. Unfortunately, It didn't work for him. He went to trial, the old man, because there was the investigation. At first, they declared it. The sheriff's office got more investigated, and there's a certain way there's 3 seconds or something that you have to be really inferior your life, and they proved that it wasn't. That they almost, I don't know if he got convicted, but they were going after it, but it was pretty much premeditated the way that it happened. And this was an old man that was just purposely going out there every day to terrorize, just to be a hot shot because he had a gun license. And he didn't like black people. And he shot that man.
Kevin off his bike?
Yeah, Kevin wears he drives a bicycle every day. He wears pink shoes.
Yeah.
He has I don't know if he has a pink hat. I know he's got pink shoes, and Pinky they call him, yeah.
Wow. Does he even have the stamina to even do that?
John or him?
John.
Well, John has had a stroke before in his life. He has had a stroke before when he was in his early 50s, I believe. John is going off by his great fight with Cabby and other fights. John wants to go to the ring with everybody. Here's John's. John don't want to go outside and knock on someone's door and fist fight with them in a parking lot. John wants to get everybody into a ring that'll never show up, because he's going off the fight where he won $100,000 for beating Cabby. Cabby is towered over John. Cabby would have massacred John, but I'm sure it was laid out because it was Howard Stern's event that John wins. It was all rigged. They both got paid very well. Cabby got $100,000. I don't know what John got. He got $100,000 or $200,000, but it was a big event back in the day. And John goes by that. He goes about the AJ Bender thing, But if Ronnie Munn wasn't there and they let AJ go after John, I think he would have tore John's ass up. They were holding John back at AJ, but Ronnie came in, and Ronnie would have beat the hell out of both of them, because that's what he did. That was what he was hired to do, to be Howard's bodyguard and driver. But John goes by a lot of stuff. He beat this one. I've always beat, I've cleared victory. John's very dirty. Anything he's won is because it was rigged or dirty. I don't think he has the stamina. I think Brennan at 63, and I believe he's 63, is probably in better shape than John ever could think of. And Brennan's a pretty hot-tempered guy. He's an Irish guy that's, you piss him off, he's going to let loose. He showed that at Compound Media when he went after Gino Bisconte. And it took all Bob Levy to hold him back pretty good. So, and Bob's 63, and Bob's in better shape than both of them. So it's, John is, I don't know if he wants to really go that route. I don't know. He claims he's going to beat him, so I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know the full extent. James, I don't know the full extent on the law down there in Florida on the stand your ground. I just know it became very well known at a certain point in
Yeah.
our history here. So
I just hope John doesn't see this, because if he sees this and Poe's poking the bear, he's going to want to come to Michigan.
Well, that's
Come
fine.
on.
Come
Come
on.
on. Let's see. All right. Someone said, this is Couch. My phone died. I'm visiting my mom, so I introduced her to Dabble versus Stuttering John.
Nice.
Wow. All right. So let's see what Kev's got to say here.
Oh, wow. Johnny was he scared now?
Of course he is.
Johnny scared. Oh, here it is. Here it is, Johnny. Here it is.
I'm sure Brennan had
Hey,
it.
let me tell you something.
There it is.
I know what you're doing, and I'm going to give
What am I doing? I'm just doing shows.
you a little warning.
Oh, another warning. Oh, a warning. A warning. Let's see what the warning is officially.
It's not really a warning, actually.
Oh, good.
It's a piece of reality, and it's
Wow.
Wow, I'm gonna get some reality. I'm gonna get reality served on a how they say it?
On some toast.
Served cold, served on a dish. What do they say? John will probably come up with
Better
something
watch
about
out, Neil's brother.
and reality is best served cold.
Oh, see, I knew
Stick
they'd
to
come
me.
up with something
You
stupid.
understand?
I'm sorry, but that just literally speaks dumbass, because it's a revenge is the dish best served cold.
Right.
So, I mean, geez. This guy.
He's there.
Wow.
Very simple.
Wow. Like when you came over to my house, John, where my family lives, were underage children there.
That's right.
Minors. Walter will back it up. I can just go right to the authorities right now.
And he will.
I know you're
He
jealous
will.
of me. I get it.
John, nobody's jealous of you.
I know you can't wrap your head around that I bought my house, that I might.
No, you didn't buy your house. You told
You
me
didn't,
your
John.
mom basically bought your house. Your mom got the loan. You didn't get the loan. Your mom got the loan. So again, is that mortgage fraud? I don't know. The great state of Florida, there's a lot of duplicitous shit going on down there. So maybe they don't care. Maybe a state like Florida, they don't care.
Have a boat, or maybe not. I know. I know.
Yeah,
it
no, you
bothers
have a boat. I confirmed it with the sorcerer. He said you do have a boat. He confirmed it. He
Oh,
looked
okay,
it
so he
up.
does
You have
have
a
a boat.
boat. You paid cash for the boat. That's right. That's right. John had $27,000 in unmarked bills, and he walked up and he said,
How in the hell would he even have the money for that? You know?
There's a lot of angles you could go with John, because John has been allegedly known to dabble in cocaine. So
Wow.
allegedly.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that we're supposed to believe John's mom had to buy him a house, but somehow he bought a boat with his shitty credit. So he paid cash, or his mom paid for this too?
That's fine. I understand why it's bothering to you, because I've had a much better career. I've been waiting.
Right. John hasn't been in demand since when?
1990.
And let's face it, I'm more talented than you are.
Right.
Oh.
At what, John?
That just screams of being pathetic, you know?
He
All
has to be number one, John. He has to be number one.
I
Can't
mean,
accept it.
this is like somebody who comes off of a nationally syndicated show, can't get work for 10 years, then goes on Dancing with the Stars to try to,
Right.
rebuild their career.
I'm
I mean,
surprised John hasn't done that. To be honest,
He
with
went
you,
on.
Dancing
He
with the
went
Stars.
on a reality show, didn't he? He went on.
Yeah, one with where you eat you live in the wilderness or something.
Yep.
Wasn't it? Yeah, where you
Something
eat all
like
the
that.
survival, one of those survival shows.
Yep.
Wow. He went on one of those, huh?
Yeah.
He was the best one on there. He said.
Oh, of
Oh,
course
wow.
he was. Of course he was.
Yeah, he looks like he'd survive. So yeah, I have a feeling he stands up and he's going to pass out.
I
Come
mean,
on.
John, let's face it. If I had the money he says he had, and I had no more obligation, I wasn't married anymore. My kids are grown, so whether I supported them or not, but they're grown now, so I don't have to worry about them no more. And I would live a little bit differently for a guy that has been successful, like he claims, to make myself feel successful and not live the way he does. He lives with the bare minimum, and he don't care about this. He don't care about. I mean,
Well,
if I had money like he had, like he claims, first of all, I wouldn't be doing a show like he's doing. I would not even be on the internet. I'd be gone. I'd be living my life, and I would enjoy what I got left.
I mean, to be honest with you, if I was as famous as and rich as he claims he is,
right,
I wouldn't be doing a YouTube channel. I'd be
right,
doing something. I'd be on an actual show
correct,
somewhere,
right.
or I'd be touring the country doing a
Book
stand up
signings or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he could literally do like the Comic Cons and shit like that and make
Correct,
money selling his autographs. Come on.
correct, correct,
I
correct,
mean, to sit there and claim you are that great and that good, and
right.
you're literally begging people for money on YouTube.
He's on YouTube, right? That's
What's
all
that
he
tell
is.
you?
And
know?
it's the truth. I would be like you said. There's a lot of money marketing yourself if you invested yourself. If you got money, like you said, the Comic Cons or whatever area for him. If he went to the events that he's been invited to, if he even showed up at New York for the Dabbleverse stuff, he would have been well received at one. I don't think anymore. I think there's a lot of enemies towards him now. But John would have played his cards right, and Carl and Shuli, they've all tried to sit him down and sit at the table with him and try to let him see the light that there's a lot of money in this if it's played right, and he does it right for himself and follows the team, and John could have came out of this smelling pretty good, but he don't want to do that. He just wants to keep getting shit on and keep shitting on himself. He shits on himself more than anybody. I'll put it.
Well, I mean, honestly, I think even now, if he showed up at one of those, he could still make a ton of money.
Yeah.
He just, I mean, is it the fact he just can't get his butt out of the chair and walk to the car to make it to the airport or what? But there's money there to be had. And I mean, and if he actually worked on it and tried not being an arrogant ass on air on his lives, he could probably have a huge show. I mean, look how many people make their living off of YouTube nowadays. But this is what he does.
When I was with him before I went on the outdoor, I said, John, do you imagine if you could just get your head out of your ass? I told him this one day on the phone, and just duck a little bit, John. All I'm asking you, I'm not asking you to change anything. Duck a little, John. Be a little more humble, and get ready for DabbleCon, and go to DabbleCon and walk in. Don't even let nobody know you're coming. Do you know how the turn of events would turn for you when you walk through the door and someone goes running in? Stuttering John's here. Stuttering John's here. The whole shift for DabbleCon would go to him, and people would just want to bow to him and greet him and talk to him. He would make so much money with having T-shirts made and he would just kill it, and he's too dumb to realize that. He's just not smart.
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, even the most far removed actors who have been in something that was popular at once are still making tons of money doing appearances at those kinds of events.
Correct.
I mean, geez, this is he
can
has
do the
the
reverse
opportunity to do so much. But he's probably making hundreds of billions of dollars on the stock market, which is why he's able to buy all new underwear instead of washing his underwear and crapping through them. So
exactly.
I mean, that's what the rich do, isn't it? They just sit there and crap through their underwear.
That's what they do. So
there you go. Jennifer says he doesn't have enough awareness for that. I mean, honestly, if you used any of that at all, he could make so much money.
Right.
But geez,
he had the opportunity. He has the opportunity to turn it around and to get a lot of people to switch their thoughts of him, but he just don't want to he don't want to go in a positive direction. And like Jennifer said, he doesn't have the awareness to realize he'll make triple what he's making with his podcast. And if he only did 5 or 6 events a year, he would still make more than he makes all year long.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And he would probably be able to grow his YouTube channel even bigger by doing shit like that.
Correct.
But but then again, if frogs have wings, they wouldn't bump their asses when they hop. And if he didn't drink a case of Pabst Blue Ribbon in the morning, he wouldn't have bloodshot eyes by 9 a.m. So
you get a couple of loyal people that really did like you, John. That'll be your guys that'll help you with moving the merchandise. Get a whole line of merchandise about yourself. Clean up your act. Quit being on the internet, YouTube. Go to these events and see. Just try it one time to see. Wow, I made more in a weekend than I did the last 6 months or 3 months. Even if I say 3 months.
Yeah.
And then pay some guys to be loyal to you to help you work and set these tables up, and that'll watch your back, tell you how to dress. Even if you need to be told how to dress, John, dress a little cleaner. Keep your shaving. It's okay. Yeah. No one's saying it's not wrong. It's okay, John, if you got someone to remind you to do stuff every day or got to dress you. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's people like that all over the world. You know, I mean, yeah, learn what personal hygiene is, learn what a razor is.
Right.
You know, if you got slobber down the front of your shirt, change your shirt. That it's not that friggin' hard.
Right.
And Santo's got it right. He's like the movie The Wrestler, a has-been still living in the past.
Correct. That's
I mean,
100%, Santo. 100%.
How many of us have seen those where they put out those posters or advertisements or stuff like that, where you got the local backyard wrestlers are going to be at the local high school gymnasium or middle school or elementary school, and they're bringing in somebody from the 1980s who was a big wrestler at that time who's now 80 years old.
You're right. Yeah. And it's Johnny fits the MO perfect. And you know, and for the truth of the matter, John does know a lot of big stars. John is on a first name basis with a lot of people in Hollywood. He's been on with the things he's accomplished, that he had the golden opportunities that he just didn't do properly. So he's had all that before him. So all he has to do is just duck a little bit and just listen sometimes. Because nobody in their right mind, even I'm smart, and I'm not the smartest guy and the sharpest tool in the shed, to know you always need somebody in your corner to carry you, to make you better. You have to have a team. You have to, you know, and he just don't get that. So.
And you got a super chat from Rev Fugly.
What's up, Rev?
John doesn't have big money. He makes average people wages.
Exactly, Rev Fugly. Thank you, Rev Fugly, for the $1.
All right, let's get back to that clip now.
John basically said he stole his whole podcast persona from me, but now he's more talented. He's better at being me than me.
Okay, so you admit it. That's cool. Thank you, Kev. No, I mean, geez.
Yeah.
I mean, they say that, you know, that's the biggest form of flattery, but I mean, come on.
I'm gonna give you my best Kevin Brennan impression. He's an idiot.
Yeah, it's the sincerest form of flattery. My ass.
John doesn't even call him Kevin Brennan. He calls him Neil's brother because Neil's brother's more successful.
Oh,
which does, for some reason, it does bother Kevin, I think, a lot. I mean, he gets very angry when he gets on the subject of his brother, and I think his younger brother being more successful is you would think that you would be happy for your brother and be more in his corner, but there's more of a rivalry between Kevin, Brennan, and Neil. So
I don't know. You know, my brother. If my brother was successful, I'd be happy for him.
Sure, of course,
bother me none.
Absolutely.
So
that's a fact, Jack.
Right.
Oh, whoa! That's a brand new statement. I've never heard that one before.
Fact check.
Yeah, wasn't that what was that? Different Strokes or whatever it was called? Didn't that where that came from?
Yeah, I think so. But Different Strokes. But Gary Coleman, was it?
From the 1970s and 80s.
Todd Bridges and
yeah.
Did that whole team go to prison at one time? From the girls
I have no idea.
Todd Bridges, they all were in prison, weren't they?
It was either that or like the show Good Times. I know he's grabbing that from somebody.
Yeah.
And I see what everybody's talking about, that big T in his forehead now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, John does look like if you kind of look at him, Shuli's got it best where he eats bananas and he's an ape. He turns him into an ape. You seen that?
He looks like a post-lobotomy patient, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody made an animated cartoon too of him where he's like trying to move his couch. It was pretty funny.
Have you ever seen the cartoons they made of John and I? Have you seen those?
No.
Oh, you got to see some of those tonight. You got to play one of those tonight. I'm the Master Shake, and it's with Baloney Factory. You can pull those, and they're like 30-second shorts.
Baloney Factory.
Oh yeah, they're great. They're great. I gotta admit, the guy that did this, I was quite impressed with it. This is back when I was John's sidekick. There's several that he made on me, and
now John's out of the Joey C business.
Yeah. Well, that's because John don't want the repercussions that if he attacks me. What's gonna happen? Yeah, Baloney Factory, and you'll see it called the Shake. I'm as a Shake, and John being John. He's done a lot of stuff. John. It's a great.
You know how far back they were?
Yeah, they're probably. If you got the page, just go to his videos or I don't know if it's shorts or whatever. And you'll see. You just keep scrolling down. It's been a few months, but there's a ton of them. You'll hit them real quick.
Yeah, I'm seeing the animated ones. I'm trying to find the ones with you in them.
Well, I'm the Shake. The
Shake.
I'm the one. The animated. I mean, it's animated. It's cartoon.
Return of Joey Cups.
That's me, Joey Cups. Yeah.
All right, hold on. We'll pull that one up right now so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Looks like somebody has an Adult Swim fetish. So let's see here.
Yeah, it's pretty much Master Shake is from the Adult Swim network
Yeah.
show.
So
This
I'll
is me
put
and John.
the
That's
put
John
the
and that's
link
me.
into
I'm the
chat there
cup.
for everybody. So we make sure we give him, and this is from
Oh, he's a
Bologna
great guy.
Factory.
Bologna Factory. He's a wonderful man. Met him twice already. He's a good man.
There we go.
Give him a credit. He's a good dude.
All right.
Joey,
Yeah, it's fucking me. What? You want to run your fucking mouth some more?
Yeah.
Huh? And you want to listen to that bald-headed motherfucker who thinks he's a badass and he ain't shit?
Yeah.
Huh? I watched him fight. He don't know how to fight, number fucking one. If he swings on people the way he does, his ass will get taken down by a lot of fucking people. He ain't shit.
Joey,
Fuck you.
they're gonna have to amputate your leg, Joey.
Fuck, I'm fine, brother. That ain't nothing. Play off your little fucking. You're a punk.
that was the line. The guy's so perfect at editing, and there's several.
My cherry pie. You know, I can't really sing the song. Nazi tie rod.
That's
Tell
John
you-
back when
Whoa,
he was,
what the hell is that?
That's John when we were doing the drunken streams. This is when I was with him. That's how he looked when I was with him. Yeah. That
Oh
was
my
John.
gosh. He looks like he's an extra in one of those like medieval war movies or something.
He claims he was supporting the Writers Guild strike. That's why he wasn't shaving. That was his claim to fame with that one.
Wow, that would really make me want to support the Writers Guild right there. The fact that he didn't shave.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So there's a lot of those master shakes with me and John where I'm trying to John, when I tried to explain to him why I was going on Shuley, because he kept trying to get me off of Shuley. They're just using you. And I convinced him that this is when I was going, we were going to do a work on him. I already had fallen out with him at the first time. And so Shuley just, so I finally convinced John to be okay with me going on Shuley and doing the breaking news. That's when we invented the breaking news. So I got a job, John. You going to pay me? No, I'm not paying you. I said, well, then I got to make a living, John. Shuley pays me. So you can't let me give up my job because you're jealous of and he fell for it, hook, line, and sink. Then it was perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look at that hair. Wow.
Yeah, the many looks of Stuttering John. Yeah, that's what you got to do, buddy. You got to grow that like that, buddy.
All right. Challenge accepted.
All right.
Gee.
Yeah. Bologna Factory, great man. Great man.
Yeah, he looked like he should be playing the role of Father May I at that with that look. So, jeez.
I gotta say, John is quite entertaining on and off the screen, though.
Oh yeah,
just in your talks to him on the phone, and I tell you, the one day when he was going on Carl's, when he first merged back to the Dabbleverse after the interview with Brennan, and Brennan paid $3,000 to John. That interview he did when John came back about a year ago, Brennan had to give John $3,000 to do the interview.
You know what? All he's missing is that that tattoo right in the middle of his forehead. He does look like a fat Charles Manson, doesn't he?
He does, don't he? He really does. He really does. Yeah.
Let's see. I'm gonna.
There you go for your thumbnail next week.
Yeah, let me take a screenshot of that, and
that's your thumbnail for next week.
Yeah, man.
Is this really Charlie Manson?
Jeez.
That's a good point out.
Poking the bear.
Just said that.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a good enough picture of him to match those two up. Jeez.
Yeah, that's it. I gotta tell you, it's pretty damn close. John will tell you he don't believe in God. That he comes to a point where he's admitted he don't believe in God. One day he told me, he goes, and I said, well, thank God. He says, there ain't no God. How do you rely on God? And then you catch him on the stream saying, oh God, he'll be praising God because God got him out of a situation one day, and he changed his mind that it was all God. And I'm like, John, you can't just go from hot and cold. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's
I mean, that just looks like John's going to look in about 6 months after cirrhosis finally thins him out real good.
And believe it or not, John probably was a fan of Charlie Manson because John's a weirdo. I bet you if someone challenged him on that, he might say something good about him. He don't usually generally like criminals because that's his big claim to fame. I've never been arrested. You guys are all criminals. They're all criminals in the Dabbleverse. All felons,
That's your claim to fame? You ain't never been arrested? Come on.
Yeah, that's his big claim to fame. He's proud of that. But I just think that John is a very good talker when he's up against the wall and people are coming after him. It's like I could see him getting pulled over and fast talking the cops pretty good. And he's the type of guy that will make you his best friend while you're getting pulled over, you know. And he has a way of talking people into anything, and that's what he does. He aligns himself. First thing he does is he makes friends with all the police departments. That's his big thing. We can do a charity event. We could do, you know, he'll come up with something like that to have the police in his corner.
But you know, in all honesty, had I not gotten into the Dabbleverse, I wouldn't even know who the hell Stuttering John was.
Right. There's our point exactly. But now he's going to the Belmont when he goes to New York, which he claims is world famous there. Well, it turned out he took a bunch of chatters, and John only paid this because it was beneficial to him. He claims that they tried to pay the fans, but he took out of his pocket, borrowed money from his mom probably. He probably got $1,000 or $2,000 from his mom, and he went and played Big Shot. But his first thing to the bartender, I guarantee, was, "Hello, I'm Stuttering John from Howard Stern show." So he put Howard Stern in the sentence. So now everybody starts buzzing. Look, there's a guy here from Howard Stern. And then he said, and his claim was later on that everybody wanted to come and meet him. They think, because they were the great Stuttering John was there. He leaves out the part that he mentioned that he was part of Howard Stern at one time. Nobody knew him. But he made it like, "See, I told you, I got a lot of fans here. 20, 30 people wanted to autograph me and take photos," because that's how he sets it up. He'll always use Jay Leno or Howard Stern whenever he's going somewhere, but then twist it when it comes time to when he knows the people are going to start having eyes on him. He'll make it when he goes to the show. He'll make it they all recognized him, but he live out what he tipped the bartender. "Here's $50. You know, I'm Stuttering John from Howard Stern. Get it around the bar." You know what I'm saying? That's what he does.
Well, we've heard the stories where, you know, he's gone to places and he's been able to, you know, get people to buy him drinks and stuff like that. I mean, that's not, you know, I mean, yeah. So you can do that. You can trick people into into buying you drinks and stuff. But I mean, honestly, what does that do for you? How important does that make you?
He don't buy drinks for nobody. I promise you that. He claims like, "Oh, when you come to Florida, I'll take you to the Rays game and I'll pay for it." He'll try to get Chad to go with him. He ain't paying for nothing.
Wow.
He'll find a way to call the team up and let them know he's in town and he's with formerly of Jay Leno. Is there any way I get some free tickets? You know.
Wow. That's that's.
Remember when there's some clips of he was on the Howard Stern show and Howard would go nuts when he caught John using his likeness.
Yeah. Well, I told you what he did. He used to go to work in the cab and call the interns up to come down and pay the cab, and Howard would go, "I wouldn't do it." Howard live, you'll find it easily. Or Howard say, "I don't know why they do it. I wouldn't do nothing. I'd let them sit there and get in trouble." You know, who doesn't carry their wallet going to work with money in it to take a cab? That's bullshit. He had money in his pocket.
Yeah.
He has the ability to push people around that were under him. And he was nothing but a call screener.
If you guys are ready, here we go. This is the before cirrhosis and after.
Yeah. Look at that. Damn right. Look at that. John's got a little fatter head because he's obviously heavier. And
actually, Charlie's got better hair than John does.
He does. Yeah. This was at the end of Charlie's life here. Near the end.
he was getting up there. But wow. I mean, they're both of them got the same eyes.
Yeah.
Hell, even Charlie's got the same friggin' eyebrow problem.
Yeah. Similarity. That'd be a great thumbnail if you could kind of combine a little bit more of Charlie into him for next week. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll work on it. We'll get something going with that. That's just friggin' ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's see. Just looking at some of the resemblance. Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, that's just crazy. Yeah. Oh, snap. We'll have to take a look at that too.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So John has the man of many faces and many looks. I was just blown away when you said you created this one. That's one thing. John is indexed all over the internet. If you put his name on certain programs and say you want something, like I used to use when Hackwright was doing the show with me, we're teaching Joey C Discord, where we did a lot of the face swap, where I learned all that. And I would put stuff type in, and if I put John's name, it would come up with Stuttering John because he's he's just well known in certain areas. But if I had to put somebody else, a lot of big A-lists that they wouldn't do it, or if you can't do nothing with certain people like presidents or stuff. But he comes up a lot of stuff. It's interesting how he is indexed. Like I said, John. Yeah, look at that. I mean, you could make that pass for that with his. It's not too bad, and John is a monster. I look at him as a monster like these guys. You know, he's very vindictive. I don't think he'll ever. He's all talk. I don't think he could physically ever go and hurt somebody. I don't think he has that in him. You have to be a certain individual to go all the way. People don't understand that. There's killers and there's not killers. There's guys that can do it, that just are born to do it, and it just rolls off their tongue when they do it. And there's guys like John who talk about it. To pull a gun or to take a human life is people that think it's easy. Forget it. It's not. You know, it's not going to be easy. It's unfortunately I know a lot of people that are in prison for life that have taken human lives, and they have nightmares every day of their life of what they did, and it haunts them every day. And,
you believe me, you either have the ability to pull that trigger or you don't.
Don't exactly. It's that
simple.
simple. It is that simple.
And you know, and I can tell you, I've sat across the table on interviews with stone cold killers.
That's right.
And I've sat across the table with people who like to claim that they're stone cold killers, and there is no comparison whatsoever.
That's right. The worst thing, the famous thing I've ever heard, the most I've heard of, is a guy shits the bed more with a gun in his pocket than the guy that don't have a gun in his pocket. Those are the guys that can't do it. There's guys that have a gun, think they're going to do it, and they shit themselves more than they do the guy that don't have the gun, because they think it's easy. I mean, if you don't shoot that gun in split 2 seconds when you pull it on somebody, you're not going to kill them. I promise you that. You're not going to kill them. You know. So
I mean, there's people that like to talk the game, and then there's people that'll just flat out do it. That's the difference.
Don't hesitate. That's
you know, it's the folks that Rose McGowan pre plastic surgery. That's pretty good. But you know, the fact is that if you know, that's the real people. They don't threaten. They just do it.
They just go.
You won't hear a word out.
Planning out where they're going. That's right. They don't make plans. I'm coming to this guy's house on air. You're going to come up behind you. You ain't going to see them coming, and it's going to be lights out. It's going to be all over. You know. So. Either
that, or they're going to look you right in the eye when they do it. So,
That's right. Some killers are known to do that. Look at me. Be a man and look at me when you take this. You know, there have been known a lot of cases of that, and some people don't want to look at their when they kill people. A lot of serial killers, they don't want to look into the eyes of people because they become human for that split second, and it stops them from doing it. You know.
A stone cold killer don't give a crap.
No, we don't.
It's that simple. They don't care. They're going to, they're just going to do what they're going to do. They're going to move on. I mean, look at the Iceman and how he handled things.
They said he was the coldest killer. He had no remorse for anything. Richie Kuklinski was just a born natural cold killer. Ice running through his veins.
And Joe, that's the truth right there. Manson didn't have the guts to do it. He had the people that he brainwashed do that stuff for him.
Very true.
Let's see. Nisa wants to know, how did John get the axe? Did he decide to leave, or did Howard kick him out of the studio?
What happened was John was already on thin ice. Howard was on him every day. They got to the point where John was their amusement. John was easy to bounce on. John was always stepping on something because he was a phone screener, so he would use anybody that was a fan of Howard Stern to better his life. If he got a guy that was a good stockbroker, he would be a guy that got him tickets to ball games. John was always using the Howard Stern's true fans to benefit his life, and Howard would bust him every time. Well, it got to the point that I think there was a confrontation where Jay Leno was on the outs with Howard Stern, and it was supposed to be he was just trying to get back at Howard Stern by taking John away. But then there also was things that Jay Leno was told that John was a stand-up comedian, a headliner, and it made it even better. So he offered John the job, and John was really shitty about it. They found out, Howard and people, they all found out before John told them. And when they questioned him, he had this attitude like, I got to take care of myself, my family, I got kids and wife. And Howard, he really dumped on Howard. Was John close to being fired with Howard Stern? I don't know. Howard might have kept John along a long time if he could get away with bouncing on him the way and making jokes with John. Because John was always told by Howard, don't be funny. You're not funny, John, but when you're not trying to be funny, you're a funny guy. John did some great interviews. Howard sent him out into the wolves and give him a list of questions to ask, where John got beat up a lot by bouncers and bodyguards and I mean, what's his name? The guy that would have tore his up. What's the guy's name? The guy that had the talk show, the crazy guy. Somebody help me here.
Which
he used
one?
to have the old talk show. He was crazy in Hollywood. His son, I thought it was his son. Who plays Iron Man? What's that? Morton Downey?
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. I think it's Robert Downey Jr.'s father. Morton Downey.
Yeah.
John has confrontation with him. He almost clocked John. I think John
I think he did hit him.
Yeah, I think he did hit him. And he was a guy you didn't play with. I think that's Robert Downey Jr.'s father, isn't it? I believe. I thought it was.
I don't think so.
No, maybe I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I think
Robert
he
Downey
yes.
is Robert Downey is Robert Downey Jr.
Right. And his father would. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You're right about that.
I think
I thought
John was asking about his bankruptcy and stuff and why he was spending money, and he hit him.
Yeah, exactly. Just Howard would set him in bad situations. I mean, he sued Sharon Stone. Someone said it was 10,000, but John, I think, mentioned it was 100. I don't know the exact amount, but John has been in. He did good interviews. I mean, he did have a use where John was good at that. If he would have stuck with that and just, but he went down to Jay Leno, and then when Jay Leno found out John was not a comedian and was failing miserably, they reassigned him to become a writer and got him off being on the air with Jay all the time.
Well,
and John won't understand that. He thinks that was a promotion, and it wasn't.
And this is from Karma Police. This is Stuttering John Morton Downey Jr. fight Howard Stern.
So, Howard used to love this. He said John in a bad situation.
Listen, man, take care of yourself out on the street where you look like you just borrowed 50 cents in a cup. Listen, at least I have money. I'm not bankrupt. Hello, David. How are you, pal? Hey, Martin, can I just ask a question? How do you switch moods that quickly?
Yeah, you're all upset. And the next moment it's, how you doing?
When they remove your warts, you save them in a pickle jar? When I removed my warts, I sent them to your mother, who fried them with your eggs and lox, and you ate them. Man, you're so wound up today. Is this like a party for you? I'm not wound up, man. When I get wound up, I take punks like you, twist your noses off,
Hey, I'm a college
shove them
grad.
down your... You're a college grad.
I'm a college
That'll show you, man, what's happened to the educational system in this country. You're a college grad.
Can you send me some of that great album stuff you did?
You got it, man.
Listen. Seriously. Let me just ask you a question. Would your wife go and dance topless in clubs for the money if you really needed it?
Would my wife dance topless?
What the hell is it with him and asking questions and saying crap about other people's wives?
Well, he's just famous for that. John likes to attack women. The truth is, John don't like women. He hates women. Ever since his divorce, he despises women. Now, I think his mother held him too tight as a kid. She definitely spoiled him too much. But I think the only woman that he truly... I don't even think he respects his mother, to be honest with you.
Maybe the rumor that he was breastfed till he was 14 is true. So
it probably is.
It's not all his fault. His ex-wife Susanna wouldn't cook for him. He had to eat pizza every night.
Oh, that's a
what a waste.
The fact that Susanna slept with Adam Sandler, that don't sit well with him. Stuff like that. You know.
Wow.
Topless in clubs for money? She never did dance topless.
I know, but if you really need the money, since I know that you are bankrupt.
You see, I wouldn't ask my wife to do that. I wouldn't ask my wife. I wouldn't ask my lady to do that.
John's got balls, though. I give him that.
I got too much.
He puts himself in bad position. He definitely had heart balls. No doubt about that.
Here we go.
You just shut up. I'll kick your ass out.
You kick no one back.
This is where it gets pretty ugly.
That's Martin's girlfriend. She took my questions, and she first takes my questions. Yeah. Then Kevin, my producer, gives me new questions. Yeah. So now this guy who called me the gay basher, the last time when we was cruising with Stutter and John, when I was with, he shows up, and now he's calling me. If you listen closely, he's calling me homophobe throughout this whole thing. Right. And now he starts yelling at me. He's gonna kick my butt, or whatever. He starts stalling with me. So then I start yelling at him. Right. It's because now it's like it's 10 against 1.
So is he pretty much a professional punching bag at this point?
He always has been. I've always looked at John as being a punching bag. Yes. You got to pull up the cabbie. Pull up the end of the cabbie fight. And look at Cabby. Cabby was I miss Cabby a lot. He died just a couple months ago. And Cabby and I were starting to do a lot of shows together, and I miss him a lot. He's a great guy.
All right.
If this wasn't rigged, I mean, you watch it, you tell me. It's Howard Stern's big event.
I know how to make good television. This is going to be great television.
Oh, so Morton now is going to make great television.
That's
by
when he
punching
then
him.
turned around and did what he did. But
Yeah, Morton knows how to make great television. He punches people.
But Morton...
Yeah.
CNBC? Yeah, that's right. Him and Dick Cavett.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, jeez.
Now, this was a world famous fight. Everybody imaginable was there. Don King, all the Whack Packers, a lot of star ace list actors were there. It was a big event. Howard put it, so I can't see Howard Stern with the money that was poured in there between the people he got to invest himself and the whole Howard Stern people, there's no way they can let Cabby win this fight with what's riding on her. But John claims it was fair and it wasn't rigged. I don't believe that. I never had the heart to ask Cabby before he died that one question I wanted to tell me, bro, because Cabby probably would have told me the truth. I just didn't feel it was. I really maybe didn't really want to know. I wanted to suspect it, but I was afraid to ask Cabby, was that fight rigged? Because hands down, Cabby whooped his ass. I mean, I don't care.
And Lenny boy, not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe in a little bit here. So, all right. So here's a clip from that fight.
Yeah, if you could get the one at the end, I think would be
most
Cabby
of them
towers over him.
Let's see.
What a round. Another right. Cabby has Stuttering John up against the ropes. Another right hand by Stuttering John. And another.
They're both wore out, man.
Well, they are. Well, Cabby was a serious drug addict, a bad drug addict in this day, and you know,
Look
he
at the
didn't
amount
even
of
train for
people
the
there.
fight. John did train for the fight.
Let's see here. I mean, look at that crowd.
Yeah,
Get back.
there was a lot of people there. This is a big event.
I mean, look at that. That's at Taj Mahal, right?
I believe
Trump's
so.
Taj
It was
Mahal?
filled to the past. It was filled. Trump Tower. Something to do with Trump. Trump was good friends with Howard Stern back in the day. So
There you go. Justice for Cabby. He was robbed. I mean, come on, Nick. This couldn't have been an officially sanctioned fight anyway.
I don't know. I don't know if they got it sanctioned or not, but I know Don King was there. He was one of the promoters.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, any promoter who has any gumption would have taken that on, because that's money in the pot. That's free money right there.
I know that Cabby got paid $100,000 and went to prison for the $100,000 he claimed. He went on air the next couple of days later on his own radio show and showed how he didn't pay taxes on the money he got for the fight, and the IRS came in and put him in federal prison for it.
Hey,
well,
John,
Cabby was a soldier.
how did
Cabby
they
was a great
sanction that?
soldier.
Because I mean, there's got to be,
It was sanctioned. I didn't know if it was or not.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of really strict rules on professional fighting and all that. So I'm just wondering how they got that sanctioned.
Well, when you're Howard Stern, in the prime of Howard Stern, anything is possible.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's true. If you got enough money, you can do pretty much anything. So,
right.
So, all right. Well, I've been going at it for now since 7 o'clock. So
I hope you
we're
enjoyed tonight.
4.5 hours, guys. Tomorrow night we got the Three Can Keep a Secret podcast is coming back with some more true crime for everybody. And my gosh, I feel I've lost quite a few brain cells just watching some of this stuff tonight.
Yeah, it will do that. It will do that. And thank all my people that are here that supported John Poe and Clearwater Chad, Dela, from Dela to everybody else. A big shout out to everybody. Thank you guys for your support. I hope we're doing what you guys are liking this, digging this, because I think John is a smart man, and he knows what direction to do a show. And with Chad being John, becoming John, and me with my history with John, and Poe just coming into Delaware, but John does a great podcast with his other shows, and I think we're onto something here, and it's fun. I'm having fun. This is really fun for me. So
yeah, and Chad, what do you got to say, man?
Right. No, it's always fun, like you said, Joey, with you guys, and especially when we're talking about John, and he's not as bad as a guy as people really say, and
I'll give you one thing, Chad. John can make you feel sorry for him very easily. So you have the tendency of leaning that way. I like to think John is really not a bad guy, but unfortunately he is. So, but we're all entitled to that opinion, and that's great. So.
And thank you, Laura. We appreciate you on that. Thank you for that super sticker. So, all right, folks, thank you so much. Some of it's been just absolutely mind-boggling, but it's been fun. I'm really enjoying being part of the Dabbleverse now, and seeing some of this stuff go down and learning more as we go. Thank you for being here. We'll see you all tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, for the Three Can Keep a Secret podcast.